morning.
Morning.
Namaste.
Namaste.
My name is Herb, if we haven't had the opportunity to meet. And I think we'll start out lying down. So just let your legs rest comfortably. They can either be long on your mat with the ankles rolled out. If you're feeling any tension in the low back, it's a good idea to bend the knees and plant the feet into the earth. That will release the low back. The other option would be to bring your soulmates, your footprints together and let the knees open out wide and feel the inner thighs getting a nice stretch. And you might try each position just to see what feels best to you at this present moment. I invite you to close your eyes. Let the focus come inward as you begin that journey of self-discovery. Let the jaw relax, the lips can be lightly pursed. Letting the breath come in through the nose and out through the nose. I invite you to bring your left hand to your heart, your right hand to the low belly, and make that connection from that place of compassion, our heart center, to that place of intellect, where we often make our choices from one of these two places, and we're always trying to make good choices, and coming to your mat this morning is a great choice. I'm starting to turn the external to the internal as you begin that journey of self-discovery. You might scan the body with your mind's eye. Notice if there's any places of tension. We often think about tension as just blocked energy. You might even imagine sending your breath to any places where you feel tension, seeing if you can just soften as you begin to let the body melt into your mat. This might be a good place to set your intention for your practice, as intention is a very powerful tool. Everything begins with intention. And it might be simply to get a nice stretch. It might be to let something go. One of my favorites is to find that inner child that's in all of us. Turning your focus to your breath, let the breath start to be more diaphragmatic. So you're changing the breath, making it longer, deeper, wider. As you breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. As you breathe in, you bring the breath all the way down to the low belly, and with your right hand on the low belly, you can feel the belly rise as you move the breath up through the mid-lungs to the clavicle of the upper chest. And as you exhale from the top of the lungs through the mid-lungs, drawing the belly completely in. Just as if you were going to tack your belly button onto the back of your spine. And there's so many benefits to this diaphragmatic breathing. Not only does it calm the mind, but it's a great way to detox from the lower respiratory area where 70% of all the toxins are eliminated through the breath. It's also a great way to massage the internal organs of digestion, elimination. And you might have heard me say before that the beauty of the body radiates from the inside out. diaphragmatic breathing is also a barometer or a gauge to how far you can go into a posture. If the breath ever becomes compromised, short and choppy, or you find yourself breathing through the mouth, you know that you need to back off. But if the breath is strong and fluid, you know that you can go a little bit deeper into the posture. And it might take a little bit to get the diaphragmatic breath going, but just know that if you ever lose the breath, you're only a breath away from starting over again. So now on your inhale, reach the arms overhead, extend the legs long. Take that nice long stretch, see how much space you can take up, fill the lungs up to the top. Take a little pause and then open the mouth and blow it out. Just feel the release on the exhale. Take another cleansing breath as it's a big inhale through the nose, fill the lungs up to the top. Little pause and then open the mouth and blow it out. Take an inhale here, and this time as you exhale through the nose, bring the right knee in, and you might bring your forehead up towards your knee if that serves you. And then inhale, circle the arms overhead, extend the leg long, and as you exhale, bring the left knee in, maybe bringing the forehead up towards the knee, using a little bit more of the upper abdominals, and then as you inhale, reach the arms overhead. As you exhale, draw the right knee in. Just taking one breath and one movement now from side to side. And as you move from side to side, know that you can always intensify the posture. Maybe you keep the extended leg lifted off of the earth, working a little bit more of the lower abdominals. Just seeking that edge, that place of change. Because if we always do what we've always done, we'll always get what we've already got. And then notice if you're using a lot of your arm strength when you lift the forehead up. See if you can find that balance between too much or too little, using more of the upper abdominals rather than the arms. When you finish with that left side, bring both knees in, giving them a squeeze. No rush to get there. Massage the low back as you draw the knees in, gently rocking from side to side. And then plant the feet into the earth as close as you can towards your hips and no wider than your hips. Preparing for bridge posture as you bring your arms along your sides with the palms facing down. On an inhale, you're going to press into your feet, start to lift your hips up towards the sky. Imagine the front of the body soft as you're pressing into your feet, your upper arms. You might bring your hands under your hips and interlace the fingers, drawing the knuckles towards your heels, bringing the chest a little bit closer towards the chin. Notice that the knees have splayed out. Try to keep the knees directly over your ankles. The intention here is to bring the chest towards the chin and not the chin towards the chest. And there's two different theories about the glute muscles. You can either have them engaged or you can try to soften the glute muscles. And then take an inhale, come up onto your toes, feel the hips and the heels lifting. And as you exhale, release your arms along your sides and just start to lower one vertebrae at a time, feeling each vertebrae touching down. Once the hips come all the way down, bring the knees in above your chest. And then bringing your arms out into T, keep the knees together, just as if they were Velcro together. Let the knees start to pass over to the right, hovering off of the earth as you might take your gaze towards your left hand. Try to keep the knees a couple inches off of the earth using your core strength. And then inhale, coming back to center. And as you exhale, let the knees hover over to the left as you might take your gaze towards the right hand. Inhaling, coming back to center, and then once again, one breath and one movement. routine breathwork movement. So typically during a class, we would give hands-on adjustments, but because we're not doing hands-on adjustments today, I just want to say that there's a relationship between the student and the teacher. And if you're in a class and you don't want to be touched, let the teacher know. The teacher's there to help you through your practice, and hands-on adjustments are a way to get you properly aligned and helping you maybe go a little bit deeper into the posture. Now the next time the knees come up from the left side, keep them in the center. And wrap your arms around the shins and turn that rocking motion from side to side, to front to back. So you rock almost up to a seat and then let the feet come overhead. As you rock back and forth, you're massaging the muscles that run up and down the spine. It's also a great opportunity to find that inner child. And eventually you're gonna rock yourself all the way up through seated, coming into Sukhasana, which translates into easy seat. For some people, it's not quite so easy. And if you ever find any pressure on the low back, it helps to sit either onto a folded blanket or a block, something that will elevate the hips. Let the crown of the head reach up tall, the jaw relax. So as yoga began, it began as a meditative practice. And the postures were added later so that a body could sit in meditation without being agitated. Because an agitated body is going to agitate the mind. Let the jaw relax, the lips are lightly pursed. Just notice the thoughts as one thought comes in, another one exits. Think of them as just passing clouds. Our minds are very complex. It's the most complex organ in our universe. There's a lot that we know about it, but there's more that we don't know about it. It's capable of thousands of thoughts in a day. Most of them are useless. A lot of them are rehashed from the day before. Some necessary thoughts might be picking the kids up from school. An unnecessary thought might be wanting to live forever. Take an inhale, circle the arms overhead. Let the palms face each other. See if you can straighten your arms without the shoulders coming up by your ears. You might open the arms an inch or two and just feel the shoulder blades soft down your back. And take an inhale, and as you exhale, bring the right hand out onto the wood floor, about 6 or 8 inches onto the wood floor as the left arm arcs over to the right. Once again, see if you can straighten that left arm, feeling a little bit more intensity into the intercostal muscles. Notice if the left sit bone is lifted up, just gently press into the right hand. Take an inhale, circle the arms overhead. As you exhale, bring the left hand outside the left hip. It's about 6 or 8 inches onto the wood floor as the right arm arcs over to the left. Feel the intercostal muscles between the ribs getting a nice stretch. Not often we move our spine laterally during the course of the day, but in every yoga class, you're going to move your spine in all 6 directions. some will say a 7th direction as you elongate. Inhale, circle the arms overhead. Exhale, bring the right hand behind the right hip, left hand to the top of the right knee. Taking your closed eyes gaze out over the horizon, over that right shoulder, sitting up nice and tall. Bringing out the old synovial fluid that lubricates the disc between the vertebrae. Inhale, circle the arms overhead. As you exhale, bring the left hand behind the left hip and the right hand to the top of the left knee. As you take that closed eyes gaze over that left shoulder. Think of the head as an extension of the spine, so you're extending through the crown of the head. Jaws relaxed, parallel to the earth. You might imagine the breath climbing a spiral staircase on the inhale. You can feel the lifting, and as you exhale, it's descending. You can feel how the exhales are grounding. Inhale, circle the arms overhead. As you exhale, bring your palms together, lowering them to your heart center, recalling that intention. And then notice if you're on autopilot. See if you can stay present. The mind is going to want to wander. Your best practice is going to be in the here and now. And then whichever way you have your legs crossed, you want to uncross them, recross them with the other shin in the front, bringing a little balance to the hips. Inhale, circle the arms overhead. As you exhale, bring your palms behind your hips. Plant the palms into the earth with the fingers facing towards your hips. Inhale, lift your gaze. If it's skillful for the neck, the head can drop back into the shoulder girdle. You might even lift your hips off of the earth, coming up onto your knees, and just feel the energy that you create through these back bends. If any time during the afternoon, around that 2:30 lethargic time, you're feeling a little bit down, you can always take this back bend. You might even feel the heart rate picking up. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, lower the hips down to the earth. Inhale, circle the arms overhead. As you exhale, you start to forward fold as you come over these crossed legs. Lift your gaze. Feel the length in the spine when you lift your gaze. And then see if you can take that length as you forward fold now. And then once you feel the spine starting to round, just let gravity take over. You don't want to force yourself in a forward fold when the spine is rounded. You could do injury. You might pinch a disc. So where those back bends created energy and forward folds are calming, they're introspective, there's no place to look but within, and there's a sense of letting go. And this might be a place where the teacher might give you an adjustment. Noticing that when the teacher touches you in a posture like this, how you just seem to let go. It gives you that sense confidence and trust. Take an inhale, start to walk your hands back as you lift your gaze, circling the arms overhead. And as you exhale, plant your hands in front of you and either rock forward, coming into table, or swing the legs around the side. So table seems like a pretty simple place, but there's a lot going on in table. Open the fingers nice and wide. Notice how you draw energy up from the earth when you open your fingers. There's a slight rotation in the arms where the biceps roll out and the triceps roll in. It's like the eyes of the elbows are looking at each other. And that's an arm position for any of the weight-bearing postures like table, plank, or even down dog. Let your knees be hip-width distance. Tops of the feet are kissing the earth. Let your closed eyes gaze be just past the front edge of your mat. Tilt the pelvic bone just slightly inward. Feel the spine getting a little bit longer when you tilt the pelvic bone in. And then just starting a length breath with movement once again through some cat-cows. As you inhale, lift your gaze, feel the belly hammock down towards the earth, the pelvic bone tilt up. And as you exhale, tilt the pelvic bone in as you round the back, bringing your closed eyes gaze towards your navel. Just starting the breath with the tilting of the pelvic bone and ending the movement with the closed eyes gaze. Notice how it becomes that intimate dance with yourself as you keep the eyes closed. I always like to start the movement with the tilting of the pelvic bone. So even here, you can always bring a little more energy into the posture. As you lift your gaze, you might isometrically draw your arms towards your thighs, feeling the belly hammock a little bit closer towards the earth. And as you bring your gaze in towards your navel or between your legs, you might isometrically move your arms away from your thighs, feeling the back rounding a little bit more. And after your next exhale, just come back to that neutral table. And on an inhale, you're going to lift your right leg so the foot reaches towards the back wall. Flex the foot, your toes are pointing down and just slightly to the left, feeling the hips leveling out. Notice that when you flex the foot, you can feel the thigh engaged, the kneecap lifting, and that's going to give permission to the hamstring to get a little bit longer. You might notice how you amp up the breath when you lift the heaviest limb of the body. Notice if you shifted weight to one side or the other. If the breath is strong here, I invite you to lift your left arm so the thumb is pointing up and the pinky's down, and you're coming into that spinal balance. Feel the energy when you open the fingers from fingertip to the right heel. I'm going to link breath with movement as you exhale. Bring the elbow in towards the knee in that cat-like posture. Inhale, get nice and long, and hold there. And then bring the left hand down next to the right, and bring the ball of the right foot to the outside of the left leg onto the wood floor as you peek over the left shoulder. And then inhale the right leg long behind you. And then put a bend in the knee and bring the right knee towards the right shoulder, coming into hydrant. Then on your next inhale, you're going to extend the leg long behind you, lift the left arm coming back into that spinal balance. Exhale, elbow and knee together. Starting to link breath with movement. Bring the left hand down next to the right and follow the right foot to the outside. Nice. So everybody's going to be moving at a little different pace as you go through this sequence. Just matching your breath with the movement. Once again with the eyes closed, making it that intimate dance with yourself. Knowing that if you need to modify, you can always bring the hand down to the earth and just draw the knee in towards the forehead. So there's always a way to intensify, there's always a way to modify. We always believe that a person's age can be determined by how supple their spine is. We're always working on this core. The core is what really is going to help you into old age. I can testify to that. The next time that you finish the sequence, bring the right knee down next to the left. And open your knees as wide as your mat. Bring your big toes together. Bring the hips back towards the heels into that Balasana, child's pose. This is a posture that's really designed to get feedback from the body to the mind. And the breath is going to be the conduit that connects body and mind. Just notice what your body is saying to you. Take an inhale coming up to table. If the breath has gotten weak, take a few cat-cows to regain that diaphragmatic breath. the right leg long behind you. Flex the foot. Take an inhale, lift the leg a little bit higher, lift your gaze, feel that cow tilt. And as you exhale, it's going to be a big step with the right foot up between your hands. So as you look down, you're going to see 5 fingers, 5 toes, 5 fingers. Let's curl the toes under of the left foot, lift off of that left knee, coming into a runner's lunge. So the hips are a little bit lower than the shoulders. Notice where the left heel is. Is it all the way searching up towards the sky, or is it all the way searching for the back wall? See if you can find that place just about in the middle. Keep the left hand planted into the earth, and on an inhale, circle the right hand up to the sky. And then notice if you're dumping all the weight into the left hand, bring a little more energy to the inner thighs, pressing down through the bottoms of your feet. Try to have the right hand in the same plane as the crease of the left wrist. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, lower the right hand down inside of the right foot. Pivot the left foot flat. And on an inhale, you're going to circle the left hand up to the sky. Twist is working a little more into the thoracic spine, that area around our heart center that we keep guarded so well. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, lower the left hand down next to the right. Come to the ball of the left foot. And you take 3 little gecko push-ups. These are more of a push-up for the hips than they are for the upper body. After that third one, lower the left knee down to the earth. Uncurl the toes of the left foot. And on your next inhale, bring your hands to the top of the right thigh. Press your palms into the thigh, bringing the shoulders back over the hips. Feel this stretch in the left quadricep. Once you feel grounded here on an inhale, circle your arms overhead into Ajnanayasana. Let the palms face each other. And if it's skillful for your neck, the gaze might be past your thumbs. Just feel how empowering this posture is. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, bring your palms together, lowering them to your heart center, recalling that intention. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, bring the left elbow to the top of the left knee or thigh as you come into prayer twist. A little extra pressure into the right palm to bring the palms closer to the heart center. And if it's skillful for your neck, the gaze is past the right elbow. Draw the belly button away from your thigh on that exhale. Just create a little space on the inhale. And inhale, coming back to center. And as you exhale, turn to the left. Open your arms into T, palms facing down. And if it's skillful for your neck, the gaze is at the left hand. Take an inhale, turn the right palm face up. And as you exhale, bring the left hand either to the hip, thigh, or reach back to that heel if it's accessible. As the right arm reaches towards the back wall. Try to keep your heart open to the sky, so it's a little bit more of a back bend than a side bend. Inhale, circle the arms overhead. As you exhale, surround the right foot with both hands. As you curl the toes under of the left foot, lift off of that left knee, and step the left foot just about halfway up, coming into waterfall or pyramid posture. See that the left foot isn't directly behind the right foot. It's about hip width distance, and the left toes are pointing towards the left front corner of your mat. This might typically be where you might use blocks if there's a big bend in that right knee. Coming into the hamstrings. Say hello, hamstring, on my right side, I love you. Thank you for bringing me to body language. And we're working towards bringing the right hip back and the left hip forward, squaring the hips towards the short edge of your mat. There was P.K.S. Iyengar who said the brain is the hardest part of the body to adjust in asana. This is one of those postures where there's great sensation. myself that I need to make all the adjustments in my mind. Notice what happens when you embrace that sensation. It starts to dissipate. Take an inhale, peek up at the horizon. Feel the release in the hamstring. And as you exhale, step the left foot next to the right, coming into Uttanasana, forward fold. Have your feet about hip width distance. Let the knees be soft to release the low back. Inhale, peek up at the horizon. Exhale, bring the chest towards your thighs. On your next inhale, bring the arms out to the sides as you start to reach them overhead, pushing the earth away from you through the bottoms of your feet, coming into tall mountain. Let the palms face each other. Maybe take your gaze past your thumbs. Feel the slight back bend. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, bring your palms together to your heart center. Recalling that intention. Take an inhale, circle the arms overhead. As you exhale, bring the right arm down your right side as the left arm arcs over to the right. Keeping as much weight as you can in the left foot. Feel the left side of the body getting that nice stretch. You might put a little extra weight into the right hand, reaching down towards the earth. Take an inhale, circle the arms overhead, and as you exhale, bring the left arm down the left side as the right arm arcs over to the left, keeping as much weight now in that right foot as you can. Inhale, circle the arms overhead. As you exhale, bring your hands behind your hips, interlace the fingers, see if you can draw the palms together. Maybe lift your gaze, feel the clavicle of the upper chest opening up. As you exhale, start to hinge forward over soft knees and straight legs as you reach the knuckles towards the floor in front of you. Feeling the shoulders getting a nice stretch. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, release your hands down to the earth. Inhale, peek up at the horizon. Exhale, plant your palms into the earth and step back to the top of the push-up plank posture. If you like push-ups, you're welcome to take push-ups here. If you do, try to keep the elbows in close to the torso to protect the shoulders. Knowing that push-ups can also be done from your knees if you need to modify. The next time that you lower down, lower all the way down to the earth. Turn the cheek towards the earth and let your arms rest comfortably. They can either be along your sides, the palms facing up, or you might make a little pillow for your head to rest on with your palms. You might feel your heart beating into the earth. You also might notice the respiratory muscles in your low back, because most of the respiratory muscles are located in our low back. Not often we pay attention to them. Usually we see the belly rise and descend. Make sure you keep that diaphragmatic breath moving too. Now reach your arms out in front of you. Palms facing each other. Bring your chin or your forehead towards the earth. And on an inhale, you can lift the right arm, left leg in your gaze. With right arm, left leg in your gaze. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, it's going to be left arm, gaze, and right leg. Exhale, lower down. Just one breath and one movement. Feel the strength in the low back. Maybe each time you lift up, you might lift a little bit higher. Next time you finish with that left arm, right leg, just turn the cheek towards the earth. Then turn your right cheek towards the earth. And bring your arms along your sides with the palms facing up. Bring your chin or your forehead towards the earth. So the closer that your feet are together, a little bit more challenging. On an inhale, you're going to lift everything off of the earth except your belly button. So you lift your gaze, lift your arms, lift your legs. Now you're that super person. Imagine yourself flying. Exhale, lower down, turn the left cheek towards the earth. Bring your chin or forehead towards the earth. And on an inhale, you're going to lift everything off of the earth once again. Maybe a little bit higher this time. Feel the length as you lift. Exhale, lowering down, bringing your right chin or the right cheek towards the earth. So you can either do that same back bend, or you might bend the knees and grab the tops of the feet. Coming into upward bow, bring your chin or forehead towards the earth, and on an inhale, lift everything off of the earth. Pressing your feet into your hands and drawing your feet towards your hips. Feel a little bit more lift. You might feel yourself rocking on the inhales and exhales. Take an inhale, feel a little bit more lift, and as you exhale, release your feet. Bring your left cheek towards the earth. And bring your legs together. Bring your palms underneath of your shoulders. And on your inhale, you're going to press into the earth, lift up onto your knees, and bring your hips all the way back towards your heels, keeping the knees together. Bring your arms along your sides with the palms facing up. You might take your palms to the inside of your heels with the thumbs facing up, pinkies down, cupping your heels from the inside. And then bring your hands behind your hips, interlace the fingers. You're going to roll forward onto the crown of the head as you lift your hips up over your knees, coming into rabbit pose. You can move your knuckles away from your hips. Feel the stretch in the cervical neck. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, release your palms underneath of your shoulders, lifting up, coming into table. And if the breath has gotten weak, take a few cat-cows to regain that diaphragmatic breath. And then move the knees back about 2 or 3 inches. Curl the toes under. And as you exhale, you're going to lift your hips up to the sky, coming into your first down dog. So as you come into down dog, a great way to check the distance of your hands from your feet is by lowering the hips down into the top of the push-up or plank posture. And that's the distance you want to start with your hands from your feet. As you press your hips back up to the sky, make any adjustments with your feet. Take a peek at your feet, and if you can see the heels, turn the heels out just a little bit. And remember that arm rotation, like in table, the eyes of the elbows are looking at each other. It's like you're trying to close your armpits. The head hangs like a ripe piece of fruit, so there's no tension in the neck. You might be gazing at your navel or between your legs. And then let's walk this dog out. As you bend one knee, bend the other knee. Just feel the hamstring of that straight leg getting a nice stretch. It's a great way to open up the back of the body. Take an inhale, come up onto the balls of your feet. Feel the hips and the heels lifting. As you exhale, lower the heels down towards the earth. Feel the hamstrings getting that stretch. Inhale up onto the balls of the feet. Exhale the heels down towards the earth. Inhale up onto the balls of the feet, and as you exhale, lower the knees down to the earth, coming back into table. And on an inhale, you're going to lift your left leg so the foot reaches towards the back wall. Flex the foot so the toes are pointing down, just slightly to the right. Feel the thigh engaged, kneecap lifting. Two days, just past the front edge of your mat so the head's not sagging. So what are some of the most difficult things about yoga? It's not the postures. The most difficult thing is, one, keeping the diaphragmatic breath going. But also, when you start to go on side B, there's that preconceived notion of where you're going. See if you can practice with that beginner's mind, just like you've never been in this posture before. On an inhale, you can lift that right arm coming into that full spinal balance. Notice if you shifted your weight to one side or the other. And if the breath is strong here, starting that sequence as you bring elbow and knee together in that cat-like posture. Inhale, get nice and long, and as you exhale, bring the right hand down next to the left, and the ball of the left foot to the outside of the right leg. Keep over that right shoulder. And then inhale, the left leg long behind you as you put a bend into the knee, bringing the knee out to the side into that hydrant posture. Inhale, you get nice and long with the left or the right arm and left leg. Draw elbow and knee together on the exhale. And then just moving through the sequence at your own breath measure. Linking breath with movement. Next time that you finish the sequence, bring the knee down next to the right knee. Once again, find that child's pose. Take a moment to check in, not check out. And then inhaling, coming back to table. Extend the left leg long behind you. Lift the leg a little higher, lift your gaze. And as you exhale, it's a big step with the left foot up between your hands. So as you look down, you see those 5 fingers, 5 toes, 5 fingers. Curl the toes under the right foot, lift off of that right knee. Coming into that runner's lunge. Notice where the right heel is. Is it all the way searching for the sky or all the way to the back wall? Keep the right hand planted into the earth and on an inhale, circle the left hand up to the sky. Notice if you're dumping all the weight into the right hand, a little extra pressure to the bottoms of the feet, the inner thighs. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, lower the left hand down inside of the left foot. Pivot the right foot flat. And as you inhale, circle the right hand up to the sky, coming into that thoracic spine. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, lower the right hand down to next to the left. Come to the ball of the right foot, and there's going to be those 3 little gecko push-ups. As you exhale, it's lower down inside of that left hip. After that third one, lower the right knee down to the earth, uncurl the right toes, and on your inhale, circle the arms overhead, coming into Ajnanasana. exhale, bring the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. You come into that prayer twist. A little extra pressure into the left palm as you take your gaze past that left elbow. Once again, think of the head as an extension of the spine, so you're extending through the crown of the head. Draw the belly button away from the left eye. You take an inhale, coming back to center. And as you exhale, you're going to turn to the right, open your arms into T, palms facing down. It's skillful for the neck, the gaze is past the right hand. And on an inhale, turn the left palm to face up. And as you exhale, bring the right hand either to the hip, thigh, or reach back with that heel as the left arm reaches towards the back wall. Try to keep your gaze up towards the sky. It's skillful for your neck. Keeping your heart open. Take an inhale, circle the arms overhead. And as you exhale, you're going to surround the left foot with both hands as you curl the toes under the right foot, lift off of that right knee and step the right foot just about halfway up, coming into that waterfall or pyramid posture. Working towards bringing the right hip forward, left hip back, see with the feet I'm about hip width distance and the right toes are pointing towards the right front corner of your mat. Say good. Hello, hamstring on my left side. I love you as much as my right. Feel the sensation. They say that sensation is the language of the body. Notice what your body is saying to you. We're coming into that time of the year with spring. Flowers will be blooming soon, and often compare our hamstrings to these flowers. The two things that they need to open up are time and patience, something we as humans are very short of. Take an inhale, pick up at the horizon, come to your fingertips. And as you exhale, step the right foot next to the left, coming back into that Uttanasana, let the knees be soft. Inhale, peek up at the horizon, feel the release. And as you exhale, bring the chest towards your thighs. And on your next inhale, circle the arms overhead as you come into tall mountain, pushing the earth away from you through the bottoms of your feet. And then inhale, and as you exhale, bring your palms together, lowering them to your heart center. Bring your big toes together, let the heels be about an inch or two apart, coming into Samastiti, equal standing posture. With the eyes closed, notice how the body sways. This is a balancing posture. You might lift your toes, feel the feet grounding when you lift the toes, and then try to place one toe down at a time, starting with the pinkies. Balancing is all done in our brain. Notice how you compensate and then overcompensate and compensate again. Every time we balance, we build these new neural pathways. And balancing is like a moving target. Every time you come to your mat, it's going to be a different experience. So let's take balancing to another level. Bring your palms to your hips, fingers facing towards your hips, thumbs wrap around the back. And then step your feet out about hip width distance. Your hips aren't that wide. So we often think our hips are wider than they really are. And if you think about where the femur comes into your hips, it's about where you want the ankles, directly below you. And then come to the ball of the right foot, lift the right heel, bring the right heel towards the left ankle, so you open the knee out to the side. We're going to come into Vrksasana, tree posture. This might very well be your tree here. Start to lift that right foot, bring it towards the calf or the shin, or you might reach down with the right hand, bring it high up into that left thigh. And then notice if you're gripping the mat with your left toes, maybe lift the left toes, feel the foot grounding again. If you fall down, simply get back up. Maybe you reach reach your branches overhead. Trees are starting to bud now. Let your branches spread out. So now your eyes might be open, so you want to focus on something that's not moving. A good place to look might be where the ceiling meets the wall. And if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, try closing the eyes. Notice how that becomes a game changer. And balancing is really important. It's a great way to build new neural pathways in the brain. Keeps the mind young, and it's like learning a new language. Once you close the eyes, even if it's for a second or 2 or 3 or 5, give yourself something to build on. And then we'll move over to the other side now. Just kind of move the hips around. Use that yoga memory eraser. And then start to put some weight into that right foot, maybe lift the right toes, come to the ball of the left foot, bring that left heel towards the right ankle. And then just start to lift that left foot, maybe towards the shin or the calf, or you might reach down. The only place you don't want to put the foot is directly on the knee. And then let your branches grow as you reach your arms overhead. Try to close the eyes. I love balancing because it really shows us that how there's that balancing act of holding on and letting go as you compensate and then overcompensate, compensate again. And it doesn't really take a lot of strength to balance. It takes a lot of mental fortitude to find that sweet spot. Then bringing that left foot down next to the right, just kind of walk it out. Inhale, circle the arms overhead. Interlace the fingers, flip the palms to face up, make a little frame for your head to rest or to be framed in. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, take a side bend over to the right, keeping as much weight as you can in the left foot. Inhale, circle the arms overhead. As you exhale, take that side bend over to the left, keeping as much weight now in that right foot. Inhale, circle the arms overhead. As you exhale, bring your hands behind your hips. Once again, interlace the fingers. This time, uncross your fingers and recross them with the other thumb on the top, and it's going to feel a little awkward. We're setting up new neural pathways once again. As you exhale, start to hinge from the hips as you forward fold over soft knees and straight legs, reaching your knuckles towards the floor in front of you. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, release your hands down to the mat, and you're going to step back to the top of the push-up plank posture once again. Have your feet out towards the outside edges of your mat, and then just start to let the heels pass over to the right as you lift the left arm up to the sky, coming into that Vashisthasana. You can inhale, and as you exhale, lower the left hand down to the earth. Pivot the heels over to the left side as you lift that right arm up to the sky, taking your gaze up towards the sky. You can inhale, and as you exhale, lower the right hand down to the earth. Lower the knees down to the earth. Open your knees as wide as your mat. Bring the big toes together. Let the hips come back towards the heels into that Balasana child's pose. Take a moment to check in. Take an inhale, coming up the table. You're going to cross your ankles, sit back over your heels. Center yourself on your mat. Plant the feet into the earth. Let the knees point up towards the sky. Bring your hands to the back of your thighs. And just lean back until you feel the abdomen engage. Once you feel the abdomen engage, you can lift the feet off of the earth, coming into Navasana boat pose. Notice if the shoulders are hunched forward, keep your heart moving towards your thighs, and your thighs towards your heart. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, slower halfway down, coming into Ardha Navasana. Pause for the inhale. So I love pauses. They're like that place between desire and satisfaction. Take an inhale, lower halfway down, pausing once again for the inhale. The desire is to lower down. The satisfaction is when you get there. Exhale, lower all the way down. Bring the knees in, giving them a squeeze. Gently rocking from side to side, massage the low back. You're going to roll over onto your right side, coming into fetal posture. Bring the knees in as close as you can towards your chest, so the pelvic bone is perpendicular to the earth. Reach the right hand out to the right side of the room with the palm facing up. Take the left hand, place it on top of the right, extending the left fingers a little bit past the right, so you kind of look like a clam. Shoulders are stacked. And on an inhale, you're going to open the left hand out to the left side of the room, letting your closed eyes gaze follow the left hand. And you have a couple options for the right hand. You can bring it to the top of the left knee, encouraging the knees down and up towards the chest. Or you can grab that left big toe with your right peace fingers and extend the left leg long. Take a big inhale through the nose, fill the lungs up to the top. Take a little pause and then open the mouth and blow it out. Feel the support of the earth below you on that exhale. This is where gravity is our friend, and we use the earth as a prop. Take an inhale, coming back to center. You're going to roll over onto your left side. You might have to relocate yourself on the center of your mat. Coming into fetal posture on your left side. Draw the knees in as close as you can to the chest. Reach the left hand out. As you take the right hand, place it on top of the left, extending the right fingers back. A little pass. And then on an inhale, open the right hand out to the right side of the room, letting the closed eyes gaze follow it. And then you have the same options here. Bringing the left hand to the top of the right knee, encouraging the knees down and up towards the chest. Or you can grab that right big toe with the left peace fingers and extend the right leg long. A big inhale through the nose, fill the lungs up to the top, little pause, and then open them out and blow it out. And inhaling, coming back to center. Bringing these in, giving them a squeeze. Grab a happy baby here as you reach your arms between your knees, grab the outside edges of your feet and just gently rock from side to side, massaging the low back. And then bringing the bottoms of your feet together, wrap your fingers around the outside edges of your feet. Draw your feet towards your forehead and your forehead towards your feet, and eventually the feet will come behind your head. Just knowing that we're always just working in a direction, not about getting to any specific place. Once you get there, there's always someplace to go a little further. And releasing your feet. Bring the outside edges of your feet down to the earth. Let the knees open out wide. Bring your left hand to your heart and your right hand to the low belly. Make that connection once again from that place of compassion, our heart center, to the place of intellect. You might feel how you come full circle, coming home to your true self. And then from this place of coming home, start to bring the right foot to the right corner of your mat, letting the foot and the leg relax as you bring the left foot to the left corner of your mat. Letting both legs and feet relax. Bring your arms along your sides a little bit wider than your legs with the palms facing up, signifying that you're ready to receive the benefits of your practice. Gently rocking your shoulders under as you move the head from side to side till you find your perfect center. And this is Shavasana, or corpse pose. It's the last long held posture of the practice, and it's an important posture as it's a posture of letting go. It's a posture that's designed to help us get over the fear of death so that we can truly enjoy the time that we're here on this earth school. It's the ultimate yin posture where there's no muscular strength required. And I like to think of it as where the scenery becomes the seer, and your silent witness becomes the observed, and you take deep, deep rest. breath has gotten weak, making it a little bit stronger. Bringing some movement to the fingers and the toes. You might rub the fingertips along the thumb and twinkle the toes. Making the movement a little bit larger, circling the wrists and the ankles. Reaching your arms overhead, bring your big toes together, and once again take that nice long stretch. And take a cleansing breath here as it's a big inhale through the nose, fill the lungs up to the top. Little pause and then open the mouth and blow it out. Take another big inhale, and as you exhale, bring the knees in above the chest. Wrap your arms around the shins and just gently rock from side to side. Eventually you're going to roll over onto your right side, coming into fetal posture. It's that posture of new beginnings and a fresh start as you go into your day and the week ahead. Knowing that your yoga practice really begins the moment that you roll up your mat. And it isn't so much how life comes at you as much as it is how you respond to it. Our yoga practice teaches us that when those life's adversities come up, that we can respond with a calm mind and a steady breath. Pressing into the earth with your left hand as you come up to a comfortable seated posture. Bringing your palms together at your heart center in Anjali Mudra. It's a seal of gratitude, first of all, thanking yourself for taking the time to come to your mat, to nurture yourself so that you can better care for other beings and nature. Being grateful for a wonderful yoga community, a place where you can share your breath and your energy with like-minded people. Being grateful for the teachers before us that have passed down the lineage of yoga long before it was written. Remembering random acts of kindness as you go through your day and the rest of your week, that they are the oil of the engine of the universe that keeps it running smoothly without friction. I'm very grateful I can guide you through your practice today. The spirit and light in my heart honors and bows to that same spirit and light that is so apparent in each one of you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.